Okay.
So I can start whenever?
Yep.
Okay. I actually do want someone to count us in. Like, I feel like that would be good.
All right.
All right, ready?
3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Babson 15, Babson Athletics' newest segment to highlight the week that was in Babson sports. My name's Jonathan Liskov, and I'm from Plymouth, Massachusetts. I'm a junior with a passion for baseball. Ultimately, my goal is to work in baseball, and I'm super excited for Babson 15 to give me a little bit of more into some other sports on campus, get into the mind of some athletes, and see what they're thinking.
And my name's Morgan Fedosiewich. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I play goalkeeper for the varsity women's soccer team here. And some of my favorite sports that I'm passionate about are soccer, obviously, hockey, basketball, and the likes of that.
Our 15-minute shows will recap how all the teams are performing, and we'll end with Morgan and I sitting down with a Babson athlete and asking questions about mentality, preparation, and performance.
We've got limited time to deliver everything we want, so without further ado, let's get into the week that was. So starting off with cross country, in the women's 2-mile run, our top finisher was Alyssa Keith, who finished 13th overall. And in the men's 5-kilometer run, Babson sophomore Anthony Rodriguez finished first overall. And this was his first ever collegiate race because he lost his first year due to COVID. And Babson also claimed the first 4 to 7 spots, helping the men's team to finish first overall at the Wheaton Invitational. And in women's field hockey, they've only been able to play one game so far, but they won 4-0 against Union College. And Mira Hanyon was named the offensive and defensive player of the week, scoring 2 goals in that win. And Bree McGrath and Quinn Greer potted the other 2. Babson currently sits at number 12 in the national rankings. And men's soccer has played 3 games so far. They won 2-0 against Dean College, 2-1 against Widener University, and unfortunately fell short 1-0 against 16th ranked Swarthmore College.
Women's volleyball has started their season on fire, starting 4-0 and conceding only 1 set over their first 4 games. In the most recent Division III polls, they are ranked number 23 in the nation. It's pretty impressive. Women's soccer started the year off with 2 tough losses by 1 goal each, but they bounced back against LaSalle and won 2-0, with our guest today, Sydney McLaughlin, scoring both goals, bearing a first half penalty shot and completing the brace in the 68th minute. Without further ado, we're going to get into our interview with Sydney McLaughlin. Cindy, thanks for joining us today.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
We're super excited. Oh, there you go. We're super excited to have you on the show today, and as our first guest, we're going to ask you some questions about your preparation, how you dealt with the pandemic, and some other things. So Thank you for coming on today.
Shoot.
So the first question we have for you involves your background with both track and soccer at Babson. 2-sport varsity athlete is a very, very impressive feat. When did you realize that this was possible and it was something that you wanted to do, as well as did you feel any resistance from the people around you to choose one, specialize in this? It's going to be too much. How did that process go down?
Yeah, so I did both sports in high school, and I loved both sports, obviously. I actually got committed for track first, so I was close with the coaches and talking with them pretty frequently. And then I kind of met with Nellie on a limb because I love soccer as well, and my club coach knew Tim, and so we kind of started a conversation, and I ended up at both. And actually I got a lot of support from my parents. You know, they were thrilled. They were like, if you can do 2 sports and keep up with your studies, then why not?
That's fantastic, Sydney. And now moving on to our second question, obviously the COVID-19 pandemic did cancel 2/half of your 3rd season of your sports. Yeah. So how did you stay prepared during the pandemic? Training, mentality, everything like that?
Definitely. Yeah, that was a hard time, I'm sure, for everyone. was definitely a struggle. But yeah, I was 8 weeks into my track season, training every single day, prepared for the races to come, and then it all just got shut down. Yeah, exactly. I had a trip to California planned. We were going to go compete out there. That got axed. But, you know, I went into kind of a slump like most people, and I was home and, you know, I was just down, like felt like everything had been unfairly taken away. But, you know, it turned out to be one of the best times of my life as well, because I got to see my sister again, and I had never really been close with my sister. She's 4 years younger than me, and that experience, like, it was just me and her all the time. And she's also a huge athlete, loves lacrosse, loves soccer. She swims in the summer, plays basketball, you know, total jock. So I ended up started training with her, and we would just go to the field like every day and just kick around, shoot around, run. Like, it made us so close, and I will forever like be thankful for that time with her.
It's good to hear that you kind of took a positive out of the pandemic.
Definitely.
Especially with your family. Training together, you guys bonding in that way is awesome. So
yeah, she could relate too. Like, her season also got canceled,
Right.
you know, so it felt like I was with someone who really understood what I was going through too, and we got closer than ever, and I'm so thankful for that.
yeah, I love that. So you mentioned that your seasons were canceled and you had a lot of time off of sports. So that really will mess with anyone's routine. Routine in
Definitely.
sports is so important. Very routine-oriented people are athletes.
Mhm.
So the next question is, what do you listen to before games? What do you eat before games? How do you fuel your body for the best performance possible?
Definitely. So I think track really showed me that hydration is like the secret key to performing to the best of your ability. So I actually I take something called Liquid IV. I put it in my water, and it triples your hydration. I drink that for most games usually because I'm bad at drinking water. I forget all the time. Yeah. And so I need a little bit of help there. And then before races, before soccer, always oatmeal, you know. If horses
I can
eat
relate to
if
that,
horses eat
always.
oats, then like I need oats, like,
Yes.
you know. And with trim, you know, you have limited options. So a little oatmeal, a little cinnamon, some sugar on top, and maybe a half a bagel and a banana, and I'm ready to go.
I was going to ask what goes on top.
Yeah,
You
right?
said cinnamon and sugar on top of the oatmeal?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then when I'm in the locker room, you know, or if I'm on the bus, headphones in, I'm listening. I like very aggressive music before games, like
Makes sense.
some Kodak Black, definitely Roll in Peace, you know. One of my
Favorite song?
right now,
Yeah.
it's called For the Gang, and it's by 42 Doug and Roddy Rich.
Okay.
All
My
right.
track coach actually sent
Listen
it
to
to me.
that.
Yeah, actually listen to it. It gets me hype.
Okay.
But yeah, my track coach sent it to me, and it was kind of our song of the season last year, and it's just been special to me now, and I listen to it whenever I want to really like tap into that hype beast kind of mode. So I want to be hyped for my team as well.
Yeah.
Because in soccer, you know, that first energy in the beginning is
So
really
important.
like, let's score early, let's like set the tone, like super important. So
Also, do
Definitely.
you do any like visualization before games, like just
Definitely.
picturing the game, like how it's gonna go, stuff like that?
yeah, like it's the night before. Like, I usually have trouble sleeping the night before because I'm just thinking again and again in my head, like, turn here or look back there or pick your head up here, you know, little things that I know that if I think about them then and visualize them, it'll be easier to kind of implement them into my game for sure.
Okay, awesome. And kind of segueing off of that, let's talk about your penalty shot goal last game.
Goodness.
So you scored straight down the middle. I haven't seen that from you in practice yet, and you take a
Yeah.
lot of PKs on me. So was this on purpose? How did you figure this out, and how do you stay composed when you're going up to take a shot like that?
Yeah, so I was actually pretty nervous for that because over the summer I knew I was like, I might have to be the one to be taking the kicks. And in high school, I missed a pretty big PK. I missed it wide, and my team didn't go on to the finals. So I have a little bit of a bad history. So I was pretty nervous stepping up, but I think the goalie was more nervous than me, and I could tell because she was so jumpy. She was moving back and forth, you know. She looked like she was going to dive one way. So I was like, maybe I'll just do a slow run up and see if I can get her to dive before I even kick the ball. And I thought, and I just heard behind me, I think it was Juliana. She was like, just place it, be composed. And I was like, that's pretty good advice because in practice I was shooting them way over the net. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to place this. And I start running up to the ball and the goalie dives. She dove and I was like, oh, okay. And just slotted it right down the middle and worked out. And
So it was on purpose.
I mean, it was a placed ball. Did it go exactly where I meant it to be placed? No, but it worked out okay. So I was happy. I saw it go in and I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So a couple things I think immediately after you say that is the first, you picking up on the goalie's cues and you kind of thinking, okay, this person's more nervous than me, as well as you having the mental preparation from the past with you failing and having to get back up and take those penalty kicks when you have that memory in the back of your head is essentially what we want to see from Babson 15. We want to see that thought process to from then to now to scoring a goal because it's so important and sometimes neglected. You just picking up the goalie's little cues is so cool, and that's the kind of stuff that we want to hear from our athletes. Like, oh, this led to my success, and I would have never thought, oh, she can see the goalie's nervous because of this, so she thinks she's gonna dive either way. Like that's awesome to me, and it segues into my next question, which is, how did you deal with that adversity of missing a big kick and then knowing that you're gonna have more kicks in the future? And then the part B of that question is, if you had 10 kicks on Morgan, how many are going in the goal?
Be careful with your answer here.
I mean, Fed's a great goalkeeper. She really, I stay after and shoot with her a lot, and she makes me so much better. So I'm so grateful for her, actually. So out of 10 on Fed, probably make 50% of those. She's pretty good.
Fair enough. I mean, goalies aren't supposed to stop them technically, so
Hey.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, you should see this girl move in the net. It's insane. It's
all
really
flattering.
annoying, especially in practice when you like have a good drive and she just completely shuts you down. You're like,
And a little PSA, women's soccer does have a game tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning at home, so
True.
be there or be
it'll be
square.
gorgeous out.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get this out in time, but we'll keep you updated as it keeps going forward.
But yeah, to answer your question, I think failing, like, it's such a big part of soccer, right? Like, you're not going to score on every drive, and there's going to be plenty of drives in the game. And I think something that I think about is, this is just something that helps me, but Kobe Bryant missed the most NBA shots in the history, but no one ever thinks about all the shots he missed. They just think, like, oh, he was the GOAT, like, he was the greatest of all time, you know? No one notices your failures as much as you do. So why hold yourself to that unfair standard that no one else is? And I think, like, when you have that kind of mindset and you realize, like, progress isn't a straight line. Like, it's not always going to be you're getting better and better and better. It's going to be you have great days and crappy days, and it's about just trusting the process and realizing, like, if I'm in a low right now, like, there's going to be a peak that's coming so soon. Yeah, and you can only go up. And I think just letting myself relax and be like, look, this is, like, the first game. Like, you're going to improve. You're going to get better. Like, there's still time. Just taking that pressure off yourself is really important, and allowing yourself to fail, because if you're too afraid to fail, then you're never going to do anything, you know?
Thank you, before I ask my last question, for your time today, and you've given us great answers, and I really like that that answer about Morgan. I think probably it would probably be a little higher, right? She was being nice. It would probably be closer to 7 or 8. All right. Well,
It's competitive.
thank you for sitting down with us and answering some questions. And we have one last question for you, which kind of is an umbrella about your time at Babson. You've ran track meets, you've played in soccer games, you've been in class, you've done it all. And I want to ask you how being an athlete at Babson has shaped you as a person, and do you have one memory that kind of stands out so far as this is the most impactful memory?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot to juggle for sure, but each sport kind of teaches me new things. I think the most standout thing is, you know, I came in freshman year and, like, thought I was the and I wasn't. And I learned very quickly that, you know, you really have to work and earn your spot on a college team, and it's really a blessing. But after that year, you know, I didn't play much my freshman year. I got really down on myself, and I was blaming, like, everyone else, like blaming the coaches, blaming the game, like everything. And I went to track, and I realized how much hard work and dedication it really takes, especially in track, to like excel and move forward and progress. And I kind of realized like it might have been me. I might have been the issue. Like, I don't know if I was working hard enough. So I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and realized, hey, like, you shouldn't give up yet. Like, give it your all, train over the summer, like put in the work, see if you can come back and make a difference. And that's exactly what happened. I was able to prepare and come back and help the team. I hope, like,
You definitely had a breakout year.
yeah, definitely.
Your sophomore year for sure. I remember you were leading scorer on the team and everything.
Mhm.
So
But
that
yeah.
switch must have definitely turned on.
Definitely. And I attribute that to track. You know, it's so important to my mental health, and it's really taught me a lot, you know, about discipline and working hard. And when you run track, like, there's nothing harder than that. Like, it sucks in the best way, but you get so mentally strong and you can really take on any challenge that's thrown your way. So I think, both track and soccer have taught me so much, and that's been a huge part of my Babson experience.
Well, thank you so much for your time and everything. Your
Yeah, of
answers were
course.
very insightful, and we're happy to have you here. So
Yeah, thanks for having me.
take care, and that's Babson 15 for you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.